Hey, Gospel Life Church. My name is Ryan Woods. I am the intern here at Gospel Life Church for the summer. I've been here for about almost 9 weeks, and I'm looking forward to, one, be able to share a little bit of God's Word with you on Sunday morning. Pastor Dave has given me opportunity to preach, and so I'm looking forward to that. And I'm just sitting here on a Tuesday afternoon and wanted to share with you a story of how ultimately the Lord has provided and has taught me some stuff this week. So I think the story starts on Sunday morning. I woke up and I started getting ready to go to church. And on my way, I was thinking about my future, and I was thinking how, what will my life look like? Will I be working at a church in the future? Will I be able to start a family? What will my life look like ultimately? And while it's exciting, and I'm sure as most of you know, it's exciting to start a life. It's exciting to dive into adulthood, but there's some anxiety and there's ultimately some fear that comes with that. And I was feeling that on this last Sunday morning. But I started listening to a podcast, and the interviewer was talking to a man, and they got onto the subject of how people have been walking away from their faith, and how recently so many young people have turned away and deconstructed, and ultimately lost their faith in God. And I was thinking, man, am I trusting in God with my future? Am I giving all my anxiety to Him and putting my full faith and trust about the situation? Am I giving it to Him? And I wasn't quite sure. But then I got to church. I kind of forgot about it. I taught my CLC junior class and then moved on until I sat down for the message from Pastor Dave. He got up there, and in his opening remarks, he started talking about, once again, deconstruction of faith. I just heard that earlier that morning, and it reminded me again. I was, people are walking away from God because ultimately they're not trusting Him with their lives. And I felt, again, a little bit convicted about, maybe, how much of my future have I been fully giving to God? Then, to add on to the top of that, Pastor Dave was like, hey, do you have a fear problem in your life? And I went, no. And he said, do you have anxiety about the future? Then you have a fear problem in your life. And I went, well, maybe I do have a fear problem in my life. And maybe I need to trust the Lord to continue to provide for me. And then after that, the next morning, sure enough, I was going through the Experiencing God Student Edition while the next day of the devotional, because we've been going through as a youth group, all the students and I and Keith, we've been going through this great summer study book. And the the next day for Monday morning, it was the day was called Encountering God Requires Faith. Once again, faith. And it said in Hebrews 11:1, this is one of the things that they were referencing, is now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. And I'm not very certain of what I don't see in my future. And so I kept reading, and I began to realize that the Lord's been trying to say something to me. And 1 Corinthians 2:4-5 and it's another verse that they were referencing farther in on the devotional. It says, my message and my preaching were not with wise and persuasive words, but with a demonstration of the Spirit's power, so that your faith might not rest on man's wisdom, but on God's power. Am I trusting every single day? Am I trusting my future to God's power, or maybe am I trying to seek my own wisdom or other people's wisdom. And then finally, it says in Isaiah 7:9, if you do not stand firm in your faith, you will not stand at all. And then I really felt the Lord moving, and I thought, in my life, in the past, I can think of so many times that the Lord's provided. The Lord has never left me to wander. I've never been hungry. I've always had a roof over my head, and God's provided for my past. He's provided every single day, and been working through and in me. And why wouldn't I trust him with my future? And I would leave, and the last thing I read in this chapter was a quote, was, faith is believing that the God who calls us to assignments is the one who will provide for their accomplishment. And God's called me to live a life pleasing to him. He's called all of us ultimately to trust and obey, and through that I can be faithful that no matter what path I'm following or seeking in my future, that the Lord will provide for the accomplishment for whatever his will is. And that really gave me peace, and I hope that will encourage you to trust and just allow the Lord to continue to work and ultimately have faith that he will provide for you in the future. That's all I really have. It was something that was just really inspiring to me, and I hope that I can encourage some of you from just hearing about my story. All right, I'll see everybody on Sunday, and I hope you guys have a rest of your week is just great. Bye.